Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom deadline stream. As always, this is a dual live stream with TikTok and YouTube. And yeah, it's good to be back on a Saturday morning. The Friday deadline last week was alright, but you know, Saturday mornings, this is what it's about. You know, slightly groggy voice, waiting for FPL to start at 11. Like I said, if you are on the TikTok stream, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. You get to see the chat, you get to see my team, you get to see all that good stuff and all the additional stuff that we do as well in this stream. If you want your team reviewing as well, at FPLTom_, go to my pinned tweet. If you want to go there, leave your team underneath it, and we will be reviewing teams a little bit later on in the stream. As well, if you want to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, follow me. Pushes it out to more people, which is absolutely immense. But yeah, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, get your questions in ahead of the Game Week 11 deadline. As well, we do have a poll going on the YouTube chat. The best captain for Game Week 11, Salah, Haaland, or other. Because, you know, I think most people are going to be going for Salah or Haaland. But yeah, it's probably going to be one of those two. But like I said, guys, do keep your questions coming in. I will be revealing my team in about 10 or so minutes. We'll have a little bit of chat to you guys. Make sure you're all doing good ahead of the deadline. Making sure as well we're getting as many questions in as possible ahead of this game week. But yeah, it's been an interesting one. I feel this week's a little bit more dead than most weeks. I don't think there's too many big decisions that people have potentially got to make. Obviously, the big one's probably captaincy between Salah and Haaland, and that's about it, really. But yeah, other than that, yeah, not too much going off. Am I going to the game tonight? I am not. Unfortunately, I don't live in Mansfield anymore. I now live in Leeds. So no, I'm not going to the game tonight. But apparently it's on television. Apparently it's on, Welsh television. And I'm too clever for that one. I'm too clever for old Mike. I know who Mike is. God, come on. Yeah, there we go. We're playing Wrexham tonight. In the FA Cup. So hopefully we can progress through that after the disappointment in midweek. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't a great performance, was it? But, you know, we're there. We are there. Do keep your likes coming in, guys. Massively appreciated by me. And if you are on the TikTok chat, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. You get to see my team when it's revealed. When we're reviewing teams as well for fantasy, you know, you'll also be able to see them on screen as well. If you want to send me your team at FPLTom_, leave your team under my pinned tweet. And yeah, that's. I'm just going to make sure that pinned tweet is actually the correct tweet. First and foremost. And I actually need to load in all the stuff because, yeah, none of it's actually loaded for the YouTube stream yet. Whoops. That's a little bit of a blunder. Akins triple captain, of course. Of course, Reese. Come on. Don't be daft. The game would actually be broken if Akins was in it. Just would. Just would indeed. Should I sell Isak? Yeah, I would be selling Isak. He is confirmed injured. So if you wanted to just do a like for like, you could go for Callum Wilson. But I definitely think there's better options to potentially go for. What am I loading up? I'm loading up Twitter to make sure this thing is my pinned tweet. And it isn't. It isn't my pinned tweet. So let's pin that to the profile. Like I said, if you want your team reviewing ahead of the deadline, go over to my Twitter at FPLTom_, go to my pinned tweet and leave your team there, and we will review those a little bit later in the stream. Let's reveal my team. Let's reveal my team and my transfers for this week. Aiden Flint should have won the Ballon d'Or. I'm not going to lie. He's pretty good, isn't he? He's pretty immense. Definitely shouldn't be playing for Mansfield. He's just too good. Cheers for the like, Sean. Appreciate it, mate. Do keep your likes, questions, all that good stuff coming in as well, guys. It is appreciated. Like I said, if you want to hop over to the YouTube stream as well, come subscribe to the channel. We're close to 2,500 subs. Be absolutely amazing if we could hit that. Is Estupiñán playing? No, I think he's back in training, but I definitely don't think he'll be playing this week. So, yeah, it's not looking good. I think it was a groin strain, De Zerbi said he had. So I don't think he's going to play this week, which is a little bit annoying. Captain Haaland or Salah, it's honestly about a 50-50 split. For me personally, I'm going Haaland. I think off the back of that performance, Bournemouth yet to keep a clean sheet as well. Like, City at home. Just stuff all added up. Mo played 90 minutes as well in the week, so, you know, maybe a benching. I'm not putting it out there that he's going to be benched, but I'm just saying. I'm just going to say. Is a front duo of Julian Alvarez and Haaland definitely going to play this week? I think so. Think Estepinian will be back after the internationals? Probably, more than likely. It looks like he's back in training, like solo training, so hopefully that is the case. FA Cup day, Yellows versus Wrexham. Any thoughts? We're going for a big 3-0 win. You know, fuck Wrexham. That's all we're going to say. Yeah, I know. How did Leeds win last night was a bit ridiculous, and I don't really like Leeds, unfortunately. It's just, they're not my cup of tea. Douglas Luiz or Odinga, can't stretch to Matoma without an extra transfer. I'd probably go Odinga. Like, this is the thing. I say this every single week, and I'm not a Douglas Luiz fan, and he goes and gets an attack in return, but yeah. Is Shaw fit? Apparently he's got illness issues, so that's not good. We did film a TikTok outside Leeds, mate, but you know. Shush, you're in League 1 or 2. Doesn't even know the league we're in. Oh, Port Vale, man. We don't talk about Port Vale. Like, the 3-0 at Wembley was like heartbreaking enough, and then to do that as well. Ridiculous. Right. Let's reveal my team for this week, and it hasn't loaded in. Brilliant. Okay. Give me a second, guys. That's the Twitter. There we go. There we go. That needs just slightly adjusting. There we go. So if you are on TikTok and you want to come over and see my FPL team for this week, you can see it now on the YouTube. Or if you want to stay in the TikTok chat and just hear me voice it out, you know, that's basically what's going to happen. Unfortunately, Lauren, you actually have to have a team for me to actually be able to do it. But yeah, do keep your questions coming in, guys. Right, let's reveal the team for this week then. So we've got Areola in goal. It was a toss-up between him and Turner, but we've gone Areola. I don't expect either to keep a clean sheet. It's just one of them. Brentford are pretty good at home. Villa are very good. Forest at the moment look shaky. Turner might even be dropped after that Liverpool performance. So, yeah, we're going to go with Areola. Back three of Matty Cash, Craig Dawson. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, it's Craig Dawson season. He's my transfer in this week. Some really good fixtures coming up for Wolves. Some definitely defensively strong fixtures as well. They are yet to keep a clean sheet, but we trust in Craig. We trust the process. Today will be the day. He'll get a goal. He'll get a clean sheet. And we're all here for Craig Dawson season. So you know what? Let's go. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be difficult if he doesn't keep a clean sheet. But I think he will. And he rotates quite nicely over the next few weeks with our other defenders. And I think that is something I'm going to try and do this kind of the rest of the season. Have 5 playing defenders that kind of all rotate extremely nicely with each other with positive fixtures. So yeah, Craig's in and we're happy for it because it's Craig Dawson season, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not sure what that is, educate yourself. Educate yourself on Craig Dawson. Come on. It's simple. The final defender in the team is Mark Gahey for this week. Burnley away. I expect Crystal Palace to put in a strong performance. Hopefully another clean sheet for them as well. Very good defensively under Roy Hodgson. So I think it should go well. Moving into the midfield, we do start off with Diaby. Very happy to have him after his 14-point haul last week. Like I said with Forest, they are struggling a little bit at the moment. And I definitely think there is room to exploit them this week. So we've got the triple up with Villa players. We've got Diaby, we've got Cash, and we do have Watkins. So I definitely expect some positive kind of result from them tomorrow. Then we've got Bowen. Does extremely well. I think the last 4-5 game weeks, his attacking returns for away fixtures have been immense. So hopefully that can continue this week. But going to be a difficult fixture against Brentford. Then we have Matoma away at Everton. Hopefully it's a bit more of a positive, upbeat performance from Brighton, against Everton. But we'll wait and see. Son against Chelsea. I'm not taking him out. He's playing up front. He's 9.5 million. Potentially could be on penalties as well. I think that just makes sense, to be honest. It's just a really smart move. And then Salah against Luton. He's in there, vibing. We're loving it. And like I said, Watkins. And then Haaland up top as my captain for this week. The bench, Turner, Gabriel, Taylor, and Cameron Archer in third sub. But yeah, that was the team for this week. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what your transfer plans are for this week. And do keep the questions, like I said, rolling in, guys. Do I go 3-4-3 with Watkins or 3-5-2 with Maddison? I think I go 3-4-3 with Watkins. Who will have their unbeaten run longer in the league? Mansfield or Portsmouth? I think it'll probably be Portsmouth. I feel like that result might shake us a little bit in the week. So... not looking good. Sabitslai or Bowen, mate? I would go for Bowen. I just think he's got that little bit more attacking threat, that little bit more of a haul potential in him over Sabitslai. I can see in the YouTube chat, TPS player. Hi, mate. How you doing? Daniel's asked me the question. Start three of Lamptey, Romero, Reguilon, Cash or Trippier. I would probably go... it looks like Lamptey's going to play, so I'd probably go Lamptey. Then I'd probably have... I mean, if you're paying all that money for Cash, for Trippier, sorry, you've kind of got to have him. So I'd probably go... actually, I'd probably go Reguilon, Cash, and Trippier, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lamptey does get a clean sheet. Whether or not he's going to play the full 90 is a different kind of situation. But around De Zerbi's press conference comments, you would expect him to play this week. But I'm still going to go Reguilon, Cash, and Trippier. Saka or Maddison. Longer term, I would be leaning more towards Maddison. For this game week, I'd probably still have Maddison over Saka, to be honest. You know, Newcastle, one of the best teams in the league right now. So I probably wouldn't expect Saka to get many attacking returns. Whereas Chelsea, realistically, shouldn't be a grey on the kind of fixture ticker. They're definitely like a lot of room to exploit them so far this season. We've seen that with like quality teams. Spurs as well, top of the table, absolutely demolishing team. So I probably would lean more towards sticking with Maddison for this week over going and get Saka. But longer term, I would be looking to switch to Saka. Bowen or Saka for this week? Again, I probably would go Bowen this week over Saka, but longer term, I probably, again, would be leaning more towards Saka. Start one of Taylor, Gabriel and Burn. Charlie Taylor, I wouldn't be expecting anything out of him again. Like, it was the first goal he scored in 198 games. Burnley are yet to keep a clean sheet, so I'd probably go Gabriel and hope that he plays this week. But, you know, Charlie Taylor's not a bad option if that's what you're left with. Captain Salah or Haaland. Again, it's either way, to be honest. I'm going with Haaland because I think that's where the majority of people are going to go. And I'm kind of, you know, in a goodish rank position. I'm about 500k. So I reckon a lot of people around there are going to go with Haaland captain. So I think just sticking with the pack and hoping the rest of my players do extremely well. I think Salah is still going to get me some good positive points as well this week, even though he isn't my captain. Ooh. Thoughts on Leyton Orient? Don't really have any, to be honest. Yeah, that's about it. No real thoughts on Leyton Orient. A turkey in a bush has asked, should I go for James Ward-Prowse and Neto out for Diaby and Palmer? My family have been Blues fans for generations, so I feel obligated to strengthen my love for Chelsea through FPL. It's been tough love lately. I mean, Palmer is playing. Diaby you probably only realistically want for like the next 2 fixtures. James Ward-Prowse as well is kind of reverting back to that kind of deeper position. So it's not looking great for him. So I definitely think those are 2 players I would be looking to take out. Whether or not I go for Palmer yet is a different question. I think Palmer would probably be a player I'd try and get in game week 16. If you've got the money, maybe go Adingra as a short-term punt and look to bring in Palmer a little bit later. That would be my personal advice. Zuma. Apparently Zuma's picked up a knock. Apparently. He was flagged in the game earlier. And I can't remember what David Moyes said about it. Danny Johnson is a red and he hates Mansfield. Well, he can hate him all he likes because, you know, 2-1. 2-1. What's Danny going to do now? You know, maybe tie his shoelace. Oh, bloody hell, Danny. Calm down. Start 3 of Cash, Trips, Gahey, Kufal, Lamptey. I would probably go Cash, Trippier and Gahey would be mine. 4.5 million defender. You know who my top pick's going to be this week. It's going to be Craig Dawson. Good alternative fixtures. You've got to have players who rotate extremely nice around him. But Sheffield United this week, you would be expecting him to keep a clean sheet. Fulham coming up in 2 game weeks time as well. Some definite positive fixtures that you'd hope he could at least get a clean sheet from. How do I feel about Evan Ferguson? I'm a little bit worried. Like, I do feel like he potentially could be rotated. I don't think he's the strongest pick that I'd potentially go for. And he always seems to have a little bit of a knock or an injury in him. So, I'm not 100% keen on him. Morning, Cannon Fodder. How are you doing, mate? Should I start Matoma, Trippier, or Saka? Saka's away data hasn't been that good. I think I'd still go Saka, to be honest. Especially if Shaw's out, I don't expect Newcastle to keep a clean sheet. But Trippier has been putting up really good data, so I think I would lean more towards Matoma and Saka. But I get why you would want to play Trippier this week as well. Would you take a -4 to go Adoji to Simicast / Gahey? I think there's maybe limited upside in that move. It depends who else you've got like around your team that could potentially play in that position. Odegaard out for Salah for a 4-point hit. I don't think I'd do that. Unless you were captaining Salah this week, would probably be my only argument to do that. Because I think Odegaard's back in training, so yeah. João Pedro, again, is one of those players that's going to be heavily rotated. So we saw it last week. He was on the bench. European football coming up in midweek. Is he going to be rested for that one? Is he going to come off early? It's just a little bit like it's up in the air. Mitchell or Gahey? I'd probably go Gahey. Should I do a -4 to Shah to Simicast? I mean, it is illness, and Eddie Howe is a predominant liar in his press conferences, so I probably would. Odegaard out for Watkins for a 4-point hit. Who else would you be doing for that? I think Odegaard's going to play. I think he is going to play. Anderson and Neto to Simicast and Mbeumo for a free transfer, or Gabriel and Neto to Simicast and Matoma. I think I prefer option 1, you know. Just slightly prefer option 1, especially longer term. Game week 14, Brentford have Luton, and I definitely want to own Mbeumo for that week. I could also just do Neto to Matoma for a transfer, but we'll have naught in the bank. I mean, if you wanted to save one transfer for next week, that's definitely an option. We are going to be reviewing teams soon on the stream, guys. If you want to send me them at FPLTom_ on Twitter, leave it under my pinned tweet, and we will be reviewing teams live on stream. So if you've got any dilemmas, leave it there. Like I said, at FPLTom_ on Twitter. Leave your team for me under there, and yeah, we'll review it live on stream a little bit later. We're also doing a first ever watch along stream a little bit later, around 3 o'clock. So if you want to come to that, there's lots of 3 o'clock games today. We're going to be reviewing. We're going to be sitting there watching the mighty Craig Dawson season kick off with an absolute bang. So like I said, if you want to come along to that, that will be around 3 o'clock. It'll be live on TikTok and YouTube. And yeah, make sure to get your questions in for that as well. But like I said, the main thing, if you want your team reviewing, leave it under my pinned tweet at FPLTom_. Leave it there, and we will be reviewing those a little bit later. But let's answer some more questions, to be honest. I have 6.3 million for an attacker. Do you have any good suggestions? Let's go and take a look. All right, forwards. 6.3, did you say? Oh, there's probably Nketiah is probably going to be one of your top picks. Maybe Ferguson, maybe Odsonne-Edouard. Again, not too hot on either of those players. Cunha could be a shout with Sheffield United this week. DCL, maybe? Like, he's starting to put goals in. The fixtures aren't quite there for Everton. Like, the Brentford game is going to be a little bit difficult. Longer term, though, looking at their fixtures, you know, Crystal Palace United, it's pretty mixed. It's not great, to be honest, so probably not DCL fixture-wise, but Cunha definitely could be an option. Odsonne-Edouard, Ferguson, or Nketiah would probably be the options, but again, it's very slim picking around that price point. What about Visser? Yeah, maybe. I just think I prefer, if I was going to have one player from Brentford, it would be Bryan Mbeumo. Start Brentford or West Ham keeper. I'd probably back the home team and go for a Brentford goalkeeper. West Ham defensively as well have been a bit all over the place, haven't they? They've been a little bit of a mess. little bit of a mess. Right, let's have a quick check, make sure people are actually sending me their teams. Yeah, they are. Of course they are. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to send me your team on Twitter, at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet, and we will get a few more of those in, and we will review them a little bit later in the stream. But do keep your questions coming in, guys, as well. And if you weren't familiar, it's Craig Dawson season, ladies and gentlemen, so happy holidays. Happy holidays. We've only got the one glass of water today, which is it's a bit of an outrage. Just a little bit of an outrage, to be honest. I can review your team. If you want to send it me on Twitter, like I said, at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet, and I will review it there. If you haven't got Twitter, or, don't want to leave it under my pinned tweet, either come over to the YouTube chat and leave your team there, where it moves a little bit slower, or kind of risk it, be a little bit edgy, and leave it in the TikTok chat, and hope that I see it in time. There's your two options. When Matty Longstaff returns from injury, would you take him for Stags? No. No, I wouldn't. He wasn't that good when he was on loan with us. He just kind of kept appearing in the right places and scoring, goals for us, but he wasn't. You watched the game and it kind of just passed him by a lot of the time. He didn't really influence the game too much. So, yeah, I probably wouldn't take him back. I think there's definitely better players we could get, for free. So there's no point. Hello, Jeff, mate. How you doing? How's your day going? Hope it's going well. Start Trippier or Ped Porro? Ooh, that's difficult. That is difficult. I think clean sheet wise, I'd probably say Spurs are more likely to keep clean sheet. Attacking wise, I'd probably say Trippier is more likely to get a clean sheet, to be honest. No, a lot of people thought he did well with us just because the amount of goals that he was scoring, but performance wise, there was nothing really, nothing solid and concrete without the goals. I don't think he'd probably get in the team, but he just kind of went on a run where he kept scoring goals for us, which was just weird. It was very weird. But overall, I definitely think there's a lot better players in League 2. I think our midfield is a lot better than, I don't think he'd break in it, to be honest. He'd be on the bench. Hopefully we do, Joe. Hopefully we do, mate. Hopefully we do roll over Wrexham today, but it's going to be tricky to motivate people after that defeat to Port Vale, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Start Burn or Gabriel? I probably would go Gabriel, to be honest. What's my Twitter? It's at FPLTom_, and if you want to send me your team, leave it under the pinned tweet, and like I said, we will review those in a few minutes when we get a couple more of those sent in. Sold Diaz for Bowen and having second thoughts now. It's a difficult one, isn't it, with the Diaz situation? I know he's back in training, and obviously it was a really kind of devastating a kind of incident that happened with him and his family. And I don't know whether or not he's going to play. I genuinely don't know whether or not he's going to play. But if he does play, I can 100% see him scoring and fully celebrating. It's one of those moments where it just seems like one of those sporting moments, doesn't it? Where something tragic has happened in someone's life and they just put in a 10 out of 10 performance, pick up the man of the match, goals, everything. You always see it when the emotions are so high. People just have these incredible performances. But I still think from a logic perspective, I can't see him playing this week. And someone else agrees with me. It is written in the stars. Diaz, whenever he is back, will have a special, special game. Would you say Hwang is a good option for this week? I do. I do think Hwang is a good option. I think Wolves will be a little bit limited without Pedro Neto. So key to all their creative attack. So, yeah. Do I have Decore in my team? I do not have Decore in my team. I've got more sense than that. I've got a brain. Instead, I've got Craig Dawson. So, yeah, what can I really say? What can I really say? Madders and Neto to Saka and Adingra, still liking them? Yeah, Jeff, I am. I am still liking that move. But again, the Madders and the Saka one is a little bit difficult. I do feel like Saka could be outscored by Maddison this week. It's not an easy gimme fixture, but longer term, Arsenal's fixtures are just that little bit better. So maybe if you could hold off for a week, that maybe might be a smart idea. Keep Nunes. Would need a -4 to get Watkins. Then I wouldn't do it. I'd keep Nunes. Luton away is a great fixture. He's got a banging goal in midweek as well. I would keep Nunes. I think he's due a mega haul at some point. Oh, well, appreciate it, Kerry. Nice one. Star one of Trippier, Palmer, or Reguilon. I would go... I'd probably go Reguilon. I'd play the fixture, but Jesus, it's a poor lineup, isn't it? Got 2 free transfers. Want to get James Ward-Prowse. Who should I go for? Obviously, there's a Dingra as a potential option. Hwang Hee-chan for this week as well. Could be a nice shout. Matoma, maybe. If you've got the budget to potentially stretch for that. That could be something that happens. Must-haves for Game Week 11, aside from Craig Dawson, because, like I said, if you don't know, it's Craig Dawson season. I'd probably say Haaland and Salah are probably must-haves. A Villa attacker, I think they're going to do extremely well. Other than that, maybe like a Palace defender against Burnley, but yeah, I think as long as you've got Haaland and all that, that's good. Thank you for sending me your team. Absolutely appreciate that. Like I said, if you want to send me your teams, guys, on Twitter, at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet, and we will be reviewing those in about a minute. We'll do it in a minute. We'll answer some more questions, and then we'll go and take a look at teams on Twitter. So make sure to get your team sent in if you want it reviewing live on the YouTube stream. So if you are on TikTok and you want to come over to the YouTube stream, you get to see your team on there. You get to see my team on there. We're also going to do some score predictions a little bit later. And then, yeah, what else have we got? We got predicted points as well. There we go. Captain Salah, Haaland, Salah, or Watkins. I would probably go Haaland is more where I'm leaning at the moment. Do you think Burn or Adoji, if he plays, is more likely to keep a clean sheet? I'd probably say more likely Adoji, but I don't think he's going to play. Thoughts on Vale? No, we're not doing that. We ain't doing that. What is my Twitter name? At FPLTom_. Or if you want to go to my bio in my TikTok profile, click in there, and yeah, it'll take you all through that. And it'll bring you to the YouTube channel, I think. Hold the Twitter. Either way, if it brings you to the YouTube, all you have to do then is just literally click on the stream, and it'll be in the bio of that. Opinions on crew, don't really have any. Yeah, it's just one of those. Right, let's go and have a look at people who've sent me their team on Twitter. Looks like we've had quite a few sent in, so thank you if you have sent me your team already. Like I said, if you want to send me your team, at FPLTom_ on Twitter, go to my pinned tweet, and I will leave it there. And if you are on the TikTok stream and you've already sent me your team in, come over to the YouTube chat, just go to my bio, click the YouTube link, and it will bring you to the stream, and you will get to see your team reviewed live on stream. Right, we're going to start off with Darren? Sure. Let's go with Darren. He's got benching headaches. And he sent me his team. He's got Areola, Cash, Gahey, Simicast, Salah captain, interesting. No Haaland as well. Bowen, Son, Matoma, Watkins, Darwin, Julian Alvarez. And on the bench, he's got Turner, Saka, Lamptey, and Trippier. I think, personally, you've probably got it the right way, to be honest. Everyone else in the team has really strong fixtures. Personally, for me, I can't call like the Arsenal Trippier game, the Arsenal Newcastle game. So I think it's going to be extremely difficult, to be honest. It's going to be one of those, isn't it? It's going to be extremely difficult to kind of judge which way to go for this. But I think you have the team in the right order. I think, obviously, you've got to go Salah captain. You don't have Haaland, so you're hoping for a blank from him. But I think the rest of the team looking pretty strong. A lot of positive fixtures. I do like Darwin in there as well. So, yeah. What is my Twitter? At FPLTom_. Leave it under my pinned tweet. Or if you want to just go to the bio in my TikTok profile, it'll be there as well. AAA1, whether or not you're in the TikTok or the YouTube stream, we are going to be reviewing your team next. He's got Areola, Cash, Pedporo, Konza, Hwang Hee-chan, Salah, Son, Saka, Watkins, Haaland, and Nketiah. I can't see his bench, but you know what? I think that is a pretty good team for this week. Obviously, like I said, that Arsenal-Newcastle game is going to be extremely difficult to call, but I think the rest of the team is looking pretty decent. I like Hwan Hee-chan as a differential shout for this week. Hopefully he can deliver. Been putting up some impressive performances so far, getting in the goals as well. Whether or not, you know, Pedro Neto's absence is going to be an influence on that game, probably you'd imagine, but I still think I'd back them over Sheffield United. Cannon Fodder, I know you're in the YouTube stream. Like I said, if you're on TikTok and you want to come over to the YouTube stream, you will see your team live on screen right now. He has got 2 free transfers. He's got Areola, Turner, Burn, Cash, Anderson, Taylor, Gabriel, Diaby, Son, Salah, Maddison, Neto, Watkins and Haaland. Probably the move this week I make would be that Neto one down to Adingra. I know we've already spoke about that. Or I potentially would maybe look to just go sideways. Other than that, Madders and Saka, I know we've spoke about as well. Again, that one could go either way. Like, it's just a little bit on edge, isn't it, to be honest? I think longer term, I would prefer to have Saka. But for this week, I probably would still stick with Maddison. So if you wanted to go Neto to Hwang, I get that. Or if you wanted to go Neto down to Adingra, that makes sense as well. Frees up some budget. But yeah, those are the transfers that I would make there, mate. We've got Phoenix 11. He says, please rate my team. Thanks. He's got Areola, Anderson, Cash, Trippier, Bowen, Maddison, Matoma, Diaby. Son captain is rogue. Son captain is very rogue. Then Haaland and Watkins. Adoji injured on his bench. Awonyi as well, third sub, is pretty rogue, to be honest. I think if I was to make a transfer, it probably would be Adoji out to someone. My personal top pick would be, you know, Craig Dawson, but, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but that is the way that I'd swing potentially. I'd also get that captaincy badge off Son and put it on Haaland. But yeah, that's what I'd do for that team. I can see we've been sent some more. So, wow, people are really sending them in. Right, let's go to the profile. Where we at? We don't want to miss anyone's. What is my current rank? My current rank is 560 something. 560. Yeah. No worries. People are putting the Port Vale score in. Big man. Absolutely huge man. Maximus. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know about Nketiah. Should I switch Matoma for Chan for Alvarez? Obviously no Haaland in this team, so you're going with Salah captain. Don't know about Nketiah. I think you've got your team in the right order, to be honest. I don't think there's anyone that I potentially would be looking to maybe swap out of here. I think Saka's more likely to get an attacking return than Nketiah in a kind of tighter game. Just don't think Nketiah is that good at football, to be honest. So yeah, I think I'd do that. I think I'd just stick with that, to be honest. I don't think I would be desperate to make any transfers. Matoma's fixtures are really good kind of the next 3-4 weeks. So again, I wouldn't be looking to replace him for Chan. I think your team's fine. I genuinely think your team's fine, so I wouldn't worry. Daniel sent me his team. He said, here's my team, boss. It's a free hit activated this week. Areola, Maguire, Virgil, Trippier, Bowen, Salah, Douglas Luiz, and Buemo, Watkins, Haaland. Archer in the team. Nah. Daniel, get Archer out. Get him out. I think for me, I'd probably have someone like Hwan Hee-chan in here. I think you've got to at least have one of the potential, what they called, Wolves boys. Either Craig Dawson or Hwan Hee-chan for me has to be in this team. I'd be starting Becker as well. Who else would I have in here? Not having Darwin Núñez is a crime against nature. I don't think you need Trippier. If you're playing the free hit this week, Trippier is one of those players I would not have in my team. I'd get rid of him, utilise that budget better. Like I said, try and get Núñez in here. Try and get a Wolves player in here as well. That would be my suggestion with this free hit, Daniel. How do we send your teams? If you want to send me a team at Twitter, at FPL Tom _, that is the place to do it. Send me your team. and we will be reviewing those live on stream. We are also live on YouTube, so if you want to come over to there as well, your team will be live on the actual stream, so you get to see it and, you know, get to see my face and all that good stuff. Mansfield finished top 3, yes or no? Yeah, boy, we're finishing top 3. We're finishing top 3. Ethan's team, a regular of the YouTube stream, so thank you for sending your team in yet again. He's got Areola, Cash, Gahey, Gabriel, Neto, Maddison, Son, Salah, Watkins, Julian Alvarez, Haaland, and on the bench he's got Turner. So probably, I think we've already spoken a little bit about who to do. Neto to Adingra, probably one. Neto to Hwang could also potentially be an option you go for this week if you wanted to stick for that Sheffield United fixture. So I definitely think those are the 2 options that I potentially would be doing there, mate. But yeah, if you've got any other questions on that, I know you'll be around in the YouTube chat. Right, more people have sent me their teams. Absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. So thank you guys for sending me your teams. James has sent me his team. He said, I've made all my transfers. He's got Areola, Burn, Cash, Walker, Maddison, Son, Juan Hee-chan, Diaby, Salah, Watkins, Haaland. If you've made all your transfers, I think the team's pretty strong. Obviously, Walker, a little bit of a differential shout. I think City defenders are good for this week as well to potentially go for. So happy to have those. Is Bruno a good captaincy choice? No. I would be going Haaland or Salah this week. But yeah, I think this team's fine. Hopefully Juan Hee-chan delivers for you if you've already made your transfers. Liam sent me his team. I heard you had a late night sesh, Liam, on Fortnite last night. Yeah, how did that go? Get many dubs? We've got Areola, Tsimikas, Gahey, Cash, Bowen, Son, Saka, Salah captain, Decore, Watkins, and Callum Wilson up top. Obviously, Lyle Foster and Adoji are injured. Who have you brought in this week, lad? I can't quite work out. Is it Tsimikas you brought in? Obviously, no Haaland is going to be a tricky one for those 3 o'clock games. Like, I hope you've got a big sofa just to hide behind when he, like, absolutely decimates another hat-trick in or something. But, yeah, if it works out, it works out. Decore is Decore. Whatever, mate, innit? Whatever. Bit of a rogue one. How do you feel about John McGinn? From an FPL-wise, probably wouldn't be looking to bring him in. Probably wouldn't be looking to bring John McGinn in, to be honest. But yeah, Liam, I think your team's fine. I don't know if you've made your transfer yet, but just let me know. I know you're in the chat somewhere, so you'll tell me. The next person to send me their team is In Delusion. I mean, I'm pretty deluded, to be honest. What about Mbeumo in for Palmer or just roll? Areola, Gabriel, Digne, Tsimikas, Son, Salah, Palmer, Saka, Matoma, Watkins, and Haaland. Yeah, I think I'd probably just roll this week, to be honest. I don't think Cole Palmer's a bad shout against Tottenham. Like, they're not the greatest defence. We've definitely seen that at times this season. I definitely think there is areas to exploit, and you probably want Cole Palmer from game week 16 onwards anyway. But, you know, Mbeumo does have some tasty fixtures coming up, so maybe it's one of those that you could do. I wouldn't be, like, against it, but I think I probably would still roll for this week. Take 2 into next week would be my personal advice on that one. Who sent me a team next? Woo PKW. QW, sorry. He's got she has Areola or Tsimikas, Cash, Anderson, Son, Maddison, Salah, Diaby, João Pedro, Darwin Núñez with the captaincy badge. Oof. Rogue, Watkins, and then Turner, Saka, Pedporo, and Tsimikas on the bench. Big call going for Darwin for captain, but if you think he's going to go for it, go for it. Love it. Love it. Love the rogueness. Personally, for me, I would probably go Salah, but if you think Darwin's going to slap, go for it. Go for it. Do whatever you want. AAA1 has said, do I captain Salah? No. No. Saka, sorry. Don't captain Saka. Come on. Be sensible. Use your brain. Use your brain. Right, I think those are all the teams that were sent to me. Sorry if I have missed your team. We'll have another scout around a little bit later. No worries, Jeff. No worries, Jeff. You're a regular of these streams, so it's appreciated. It is appreciated. Tom, we already did your team, so that's great to see. Who do you think will win between Cardiff City and Stoke? Couldn't care less. Genuinely, couldn't care less. Matoma for Neto. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Lamptey or Adoji? Oh, Jesus. The thing is, right, I would play Lamptey, but I wouldn't be looking to bring him in. I play Lamptey over Adoji this week. Saka or Madders? Again, I think I'm leaning more towards Maddison for this week. Longer term, I am leaning more towards Saka. Should I take a hit for Adoji to Anderson so I can play him for this week over Kufal and Trippier? Alternatively, I could bring in Saliba for him next week. I think I'd do it next week. Do keep your likes coming in on the TikTok stream, guys. It does push it out to more people. And if you are watching on the TikTok stream and want to see my team or come over and get your team reviewed, come over to the YouTube stream. Go use the link in my bio. And yeah, it brings you over to this great YouTube stream, which everyone's absolutely loving. Yeah, they're loving it over here. As well, if you are on YouTube and you want to subscribe to the channel, if you want to like the stream as well, like I said, it does push it out to more people, which is massively appreciated. So yeah, but let's answer some more of your guys' question. No worries, mate. No worries. Happy to rate anyone's teams in future game weeks as well. So if you want to come back for more game weeks and want your team rating, happy to do more. Wolves, Sheffield United predictions. We will get onto my predictions in a little bit. I have got some predictions lined up, but I'm banking on a big Wolves performance and Craig Dawson. It is as it is Craig Dawson season. Tom, who's bigger, Mansfield or Man United? Like, come on, the oldest football ground in the world. Like, you know, it's got to be Mansfield. No, we are not expecting a Blades win today. We are expecting an almighty Wolves performance. Right, what questions have I missed in the YouTube chat? Should I bring in Matoma and get rid of Maddison? I mean, Matoma's not been putting up like impressive performances, but definitely fixture-wise they are better. So maybe. Thinking of captaining Ferguson. High score lines previously. Yeah, I don't think I'd do that. I sent mine is Madison photo and name is Harry. Okay, we'll take a look in a little bit. We'll get some more sent in and I'll review any that I haven't done already. So like I said, if we'll have another review in about 10-15 minutes. We'll say around 10 o'clock. So if you want to send me your team at FPLTom_, we will be reviewing more teams at 10 o'clock. So if you want to get your team sent to me there, leave it under the pin tweet and we will review some more teams there. Shaw to Simicast, good move. I think so. I definitely think so. Would you start Areola or Leno versus Manchester United? I feel like United's bad run has to come to an end at some point. But Leno's very good at making saves. But I think I'd still probably lean more towards fixture-wise, potentially going Areola. But like again, I think that's just a 50-50 split. You could throw a coin in the air and whichever way it lands. That's probably the way you'll do it. As well, guys, we do have a stream a little bit later on. We're doing a 3 o'clock watch along for all the games from an FPL perspective. So if you want to come along to that, it will be live on YouTube and TikTok around 3 o'clock. We will be live doing an FPL watch along for all the 3 o'clockers. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes. You know, lots of football chat. Some great stuff we'll have lined up. DKD or KDB. It's got to be Davis Keller-Dunn, mate. Every single day of the week. Saliba or Gahey. I'd probably go Gahey. Score prediction versus Wrexham. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Mansfield. Salah or Haaland captain, sorry. Please help. I'm really struggling with it. It's honestly like up in the air. I think if you want to keep with the pack, I'd go Haaland. If you want to be a little bit different, go for Salah. My goat, DKD, yeah. My goat is Lucas Akins, personally. Like, I've got him on the back of this shirt, and, you know, he just is the goat. He was really missed on Tuesday night, but he is the goat. What does the purple star next to players do? I don't actually know, you know. Should we have a look? Does it tell me? Oh, I think they were in the highest scoring team of last week, if that makes sense. I think. Or the highest scoring players, something like this. Oh, players of the season so far. Right, okay. So if they've got this next to them, it means they're players of the season so far, and they're in that team. So yeah, there we go. We've all learnt something new today. I am a Stags fan. I don't think I'd have 2 Mansfield shirts if I wasn't. What does the purple star next to the players do? We figured it out. It basically means that they're in the team of the season so far for like the top point scoring players. Should I triple captain Allison against Luton? No. Don't do that. Don't do that, you rogue bastard. Right, we will be reviewing some more teams in a little while. If you want to send me them at FPLTom_ on Twitter, leave it under my pinned tweet and we will review those about 10 o'clock. So if you want to get your team reviewed, send it me there on Twitter and we will review those a little bit later. Mate, I didn't even know either. Like, genuinely didn't know either. So we're all learning something new. And I've played FPL for like 5 years now and I still didn't know. Right, let's do my predictions for this week. Let's take a look at what I've gone for. So I've gone for a 2-1 win for Manchester United over Fulham. I'm already doubting it. Brentford, West Ham, I've gone for 2-2. Burnley versus Crystal Palace, I've gone for a 0-0. Everton versus Brighton, I've gone for a 2-2. City are going to win 4-1 against Bournemouth. I've gone for a 2-0 win for Wolves over Sheffield United. A 2-0 win for Arsenal in the late kickoff against Newcastle. And then I've gone for a 4-0 win in the 2 o'clock for Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest. A 4-0 win for Liverpool as well against Luton. And then on the Monday night kickoff, I've gone for a 2-1 win over Chelsea for Tottenham Hotspurs. Let me know what you guys think are the predictions for this week. Fulham winning with ease. They might do. They genuinely might do. I think if they lose this week and maybe next week, Eric's gone. Eric is finished. But we will see. We will see. You'll be able to get my reaction at 3 o'clock when I do that stream as well. Nice little plug there. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Shaw, I think Shaw's going to miss out due to illness. I'm not a Man United fan. Definitely not a Man United fan. Far from it. I despise Manchester United. If you want to see my team, it is on the TikTok stream. Not TikTok stream. It's on the YouTube stream right now. So if you want to see my team. So if you're on TikTok and you want to come over to the YouTube stream, come over there. The chat moves a little bit slower so I can answer all your questions. You get to see my team. You get to see my predictions. You get to see predicted points. And when we review teams a little bit later, under the... What's my Twitter name? At FPLTom_. When we review teams there, that'll be on there as well. But yeah. People are going, yeah, Fulham 1-0. People are arguing in the YouTube chat about the Chelsea and Tottenham score. Absolutely love it. Thoughts on Leyton Orient? Don't really have any, to be honest. It is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. As always, ladies and gentlemen, there is a new season in town. It's Craig Dawson season. Let's talk about why I've brought in Craig Dawson this week. A lot of you might be thinking Tom has fully lost the plot bringing Craig Dawson in, but you're wrong. You're wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Look at some of the saucy fixtures he's got. Sheffield United, great. Spurs, not so great. But we've got other players that rotate around him. That's why we've done this. Then it's Fulham, great fixture. Then Arsenal, we won't be playing him. Then Burnley and Forest. And then after that point, he will be moving out of the team. But up until the 9th of December, it is Craig Dawson season. So we're all for it here, ladies and gentlemen, on the FPL Tom YouTube channel. And TikTok as well. And TikTok. It is Craig Dawson season. So yeah, keep your questions coming in, guys. Like I said, we will be doing another batch of reviewing teams around 10 o'clock. So if you want to send me those in at FPLTom_ on Twitter. If you're enjoying the stream as well, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, all that good stuff. We are trying to hit 2,500 subs on the YouTube channel. And we're close to 7.5k on TikTok as well. So if you want to drop me a follow, a like, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Jeff's asked a really quick question. Taylor or Gabriel? I think I would probably lean more towards Gabriel. Like, I don't expect Charlie Taylor to do what he did last week. Burnley defensively aren't there. If Eze and Elise are both back for this game as well, we definitely could see some goals from Crystal Palace. But alternatively, you could argue that, you know, it is a home fixture for Charlie Taylor. You know, Crystal Palace, if Eze isn't on the pitch for a large proportion of the game, they don't look very good going forward. They're very null and dull going forward. So yeah, I think I'd still go with Gabriel though. How do you know how much bonus points someone gets? So in the game, I think you're still in the YouTube chat. But in the game, when the points are live, if you go to the players like... let me load it up. So in the game, when you click on the eye, it will bring up like on the phone. I can't do it on the computer. But basically, when you do it, there'll be like on your phone. If you click on it, there will be a button that will say like match information. If you click on that, there'll be like a bit at the bottom that's just got loads of scores. Like it'll be like 20, 30, 60. Whoever the top three are they're the players that are most likely going to get bonus. Sometimes they tweak them and change them, but that's usually predominantly the players that are going to get the bonus. And there are also other Twitter accounts on Twitter. There's also, if you go to live.fpl, or what's it called? Live FPL team, something like that. If you type that in, you put your code in, it will tell you who's getting bonus for that game. But yeah. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We're having some fun on the early morning stream this morning. There's two people still arguing about the performance of Chelsea versus Spurs. Hi, Blackjack. Should I do Botman to Tsimikas and Adoji to Gehi, or just Botman to Tsimikas? I think I'd do both moves. If you've got 2 free transfers, then I'd do both moves. Play Leno or Areola. We've had this one, and honestly, I couldn't call it. I could not call it. I think just go whoever you feel's got the vibes, to be honest. You know, Leno could easily get a clean sheet against United. It wouldn't be out of the question, would it? Ethan, I'm doing well, mate. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too, buddy. If you want your team reviewing, send it me on Twitter at FPLTom_. But yeah. Adoji to Anderson and play Anderson and bench Trippier, or just roll and play Trippier. I think Adoji to Anderson makes sense. I think maybe if you wanted to save a little bit of money, go Gehi. There isn't too much to split the two. I think Anderson's just randomly picking up attacking returns. Doesn't seem to be anything kind of data-wise to suggest that he's a better player than Gehi. So again, if you wanted to save a little bit of money, definitely potentially go Gehi. The White Goldfish, I hit the Haaland triple captain. Haaland is low ownership in my mini league. Most of Bournemouth's team play midweek. City are fully rested at home. Neto injured. Statistically second worst defence so far in the league. Could work out for you then, mate. Could work out for you. Hopefully it does. Maybe unwise doing it in a single game week, but got a good feeling. I had this exact same issue a few weeks ago. When Haaland got his hat-trick, the whole stream I was going, I fancy him. I just had a weird feeling where I was like, I should be triple captaining him. And I was like, but no, I've got to do it in a double game week. I have to. It's like the way FPL should be played. And then he hit the hat trick and I was like, fuck's sake. So if you've got a feeling, go for it. But yeah, there's still 2 people arguing in the YouTube chat about Chelsea Spurs. Juan He-Chan or Gordon? I'd be going Juan He-Chan. If a player doesn't play a week, does someone off your bench replace him at the end of the game week? Yes, they do. So your bench order goes goalkeeper, then it goes first sub, second sub, or third sub. You have to have a minimum of 3 defenders play as well. So obviously if you put a striker first sub and one of your defenders doesn't play, it'll automatically switch in one of the defenders. Who do I support? I support Mansfield Town. Nunes against Luton, decent shout? Definitely so. I definitely think he's a great shout for this game week. Is having Haaland, Watkins and Alvarez worth it? Arguably, yeah. They're the 3 best attackers in the league this season. So, yeah. No worries, guys. No worries. Seems like we're getting a lot of new FPL users on the TikTok stream. Great to have you guys in the chat. And like I said, if you do want to follow me or ask any other questions or get your team reviewed, all good stuff. All good stuff. Take Diaz out for Diaby. I probably would. I don't think Diaz is going to play. We spoke about this a little bit earlier in the stream. I don't think he's going to play, but when he does, I feel he is going to have a very special, magical moment performance, to be honest. TikToker, yes, you can get your team reviewed. If you want to send it me on Twitter, at FPLTom_, I will review it there. Up the Stags. Big win coming in today. No, I don't think Luis Diaz is going to play, but like I said, if he does, I think it will be a very magical and emotional performance from him. What about Darwin instead of Watkins for a differential in my mini league? I think that's a great shout as well. Looked really good against Bournemouth in midweek. Luton, again, one of the worst defences. Could see him running riot there, to be honest. But he's one of those players where he's going to probably miss about 8. Could I list it here because I don't have Twitter? You could, or you could come over to the YouTube one. The YouTube one, I'd probably be able to read it a little bit better because the TikTok chat sometimes does this, and it's quite hard to review people's teams. Burn or Gabriel? I'd probably go Gabriel. Who do we captain? Probably between Haaland and Salah this week. I transferred in Douglas Luiz last week. I think he's amazing. An amazing risk to take. He has pens for Aston Villa. They're playing Nottingham Forest, and he has got me a good 7 points last week. Fair point. Fair point. Go for it. Mitchell, a good transfer in. I think he's been ruled fit now, so yes, I think I'd still prefer one of the centre-backs, though. They're just slightly more likely to get bonus than Mitchell. Thoughts on Eze? He underperformed at the start of the season, points-wise. He massively did. I think if he plays a large majority of the game this week and looks good, I am tempted to bring him in for Diaby for Palace's kind of next 3-4 fixtures, especially if Elise is back in that side. I think that's going to help ease the load off creatively for Eze as well, and I definitely think that'll make Palace a lot better of attacking lineup. So yeah, if those two are back fully fit and firing, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. 2 free transfers. Should I do Burn to Gahey considering the good Palace fixtures? I don't have trips. Then yeah, I'd do that. I'd do that, mate. I would do that. Who should I put in for Kulu? Oh, rogue one. Maybe someone like Matoma, Bowen, Diaby would be my top shouts. Should I do Solanke? Oh, that one went. Tsimikas or Gahey? I'd probably go Gahey. Should I bring in Tsimikas or Anderson for Udogie? Price-wise, I'd probably be more leaning towards Tsimikas for that one. Burn or Lamptey? I think I'd probably go Burn. I think I'd just go for Burn. We have just hit 10 o'clock, so we are going to go and review some teams on Twitter. So if you're on TikTok, you want to come over to the YouTube stream, and you get to see your team all reviewed live on there. Like, what's not to like about that? And if you want to send me your team, at FPLTom_ on Twitter, leave it under my pinned tweet, and we will review some more of your guys' teams. Jesus, we've had a lot. We have had a lot. Crikey. Right, Harry, I know who was kicking about. He's got his photos. Maddison, aiming to get Saka in next week. His team is Areola, Tsimikas, Pau, Udogie, Son, Gordon, Maddison, Salah, Watkins, Haaland, Darwin. I think this team is fine. Obviously, Udogie probably is not going to play, so Reguilon will come in. But yeah, I think this team's fine, Harry, to be honest. No qualms, no issues there, to be honest, mate. Obviously, Palmer on the bench as well. And like I said, if you're going to get Saka for Maddison next week, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. We did that team. Zada. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. What should I do? He has got Turner, Areola, Cash, Taylor, Gahey, Tsimikas, Burn, Salah, Maddison, Son, Neto, Ward-Prowse. Who's that down there? Watkins and Haaland. You're probably looking, if you want to keep the Wolves fixtures, you're probably looking at doing Juan He-Chan. I think you haven't got enough to do not Madison. I don't think you've got enough to do Neto to Mitoma, so maybe a Dingra as a potential shout, but maybe if you don't want to go down that Brighton route, those are probably the transfers that I would be making. unless you wanted to do Ward-Prowse to potentially Matoma if you feel that he's potentially going to slap over the next few weeks. But yeah, those would be mine. Is Adoji seriously not playing? It's not looking good. Like, there's going to be a late last-minute call from Ange's press conference, so he could play. But again, longer term, you probably want to take him out of your team anyway. Right, what other teams have we got? This one as well. Daniel Hardman, sat at 80k transfer in Nketiah for Isaac. Fair enough. Alisson Becker, Saliba, Cash, Van der Veen, Sterling and Buemo Madison, Salah, Douglas Luiz, and Nketiah, Haaland. So you're fancying going Salah over Haaland. Big call this week. But again, both players got great fixtures. It's just whether or not which way you want to go for it. And like, I can see there being a huge 50-50 split for people, to be honest. So I get that. I do get that. Nketiah in. Probably not the transfer I would have made this week, personally. But yeah, I like the team. I do like the team. Nathan Marsh has sent me his team as well. He's got Areola, Anderson, Trippier, Cash, Saka, Luton, Bowen, Diaby, Palmer, Haaland, and Julian Alvarez. Cameron Archer first sub on his bench. The only thing, like, I see people saying, like, you know, Cameron Archer, good pick for this week. Wolves at home. He didn't start the last game, which is a little bit of a concern. I think he'll not definitely, but I do think he will start this game. But it's a little bit questionable. It is a little bit questionable. Where do we send teams? If you want to send me your team, go to my Twitter at FPLTom_. Go to my link, pinned tweet, and leave your team there. Also, if you want to just go to the bio, it'll take you to my YouTube. Then go to my description, and then the Twitter link will be in there, and you can do it that way. Predictions for Manchester United Fulham. I went for a 2-1 United win, but yeah, it's one of those. It is one of those. Right, let's have a look if I've missed anyone's teams. We've done Liam, we've done that one. Done that one. Nathan's team we did. Don't think we did this one. Has just come in 14 seconds ago. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother to pronounce that one. PPPALAOENAO. Yeah. He sent me his team. He's got Areola, Anderson, Simicast, Cash, Son, Diaby, Madison, Salah captain. Again, another one going Salah captain. Ooh. A sunflower lanyard would really suit you. Well, thank you very much, sire. Thank you very much. I do like this team. Again, the big risk this week is going Salah or Haaland captain. Whichever way you kind of feel you want to go, just do it. If you've got an inclination that Salah's going to outperform Haaland, go for it. I don't think there's anything to split the two. It's an away versus a home. Both teams statistically poor defensively as well. It could go either way. It really could go either way. Who else has sent me their teams? We've got Moose. That post has been deleted. Oh no. Anyway. Right, that is everyone's teams done for now. Let's have a look if we've got any early team news kicking about. Because some people will have Manchester United players. Some. I don't know who. I don't know who's going to have any United players, but some people will. And maybe Eric's going to rock the boat. Maybe Eric is going to rock the boat. Right, let's see what's been going off in the chat, because I've not been in it a while. So let's have a look. Right, did. Sorry if I do miss any of your guys' question. Max Kilman a shout? Definitely, as long as you've got good other players that can rotate around him. Like my defence, everyone's got really good fixtures, like patching around each other. Personally, though, it is Craig Dawson season, so I think you just have to go for him. Is Trippier a player to bench this week or keep in? I potentially have Adoji injured. I think if that's the case, Nick, I would go for Trippier in over playing Adoji. What's my on Twitter? It's at FPLTom_ if you want to send me your teams. Longstaff or Adingra? I would go Adingra. Up the Stags, of course. Thank you for sending your team, for putting the Twitter in there, Luke. Ethan. Jesus. AFC Josh AFC, hi mate, how are you doing? Great to see you back in the stream as well. Is Gordon to Hwang worth a -4 or just hold for now? Nah, just hold. Jamie, let's go. Wagwan Tom, how you doing, Jamie? I'm doing good, mate. Who is your favourite club in the Premier League right now? For me personally, I really like Brentford and Brighton. They're my two favourite teams. Like, I don't support anyone in the Prem. I don't watch, like, you know, their games religiously. But, you know, they both have really good policies. They've both proven that you don't need a lot of money to kind of just go all the way up. And, you know, the recruitment's amazing. They play some really good brand football as well. Leno or Areola, genuinely either way. Solanke out for Darwin, then bench Saka or Bowen or bank the transfer. I think Solanke to Darwin could be a profitable transfer this week. And then I'd probably bench Saka over Bowen. Please, can you order my bench? It's Trippier, Archer and a Doji currently. Any changes I should make? No, I think that's fine. Ward to Mbuemo and Neto to Adingra. I like that, Ethan. I definitely think that's something I would potentially look to do. Should I go for transfer from Alvarez to Nunes, taking a -4? I wouldn't be looking to take a -4 for that. Owning Man United assets at this point is a humiliation kink. I'm doing good, Josh. I'm doing good, mate. How are you? Yeah, if you want to send me another team, if you've accidentally sent me the wrong team, that's fine, but I don't know how that works. But yeah, sure, send me another one. Leno and Areola, do you think it would be worth benching Trippier and then for -4 for Udoji for Gahey? I don't think it's worth doing the minus. Leno or Areola, like, it's genuinely one of them. Whether or not you think United are going to be able to turn it around, probably not. So you probably go Leno. They are the home team as well. Tonight will be a tough game. I'd take a draw and a replay, to be honest. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I am rating teams if you want to send me them at FPLTom_ on Twitter. Those will be reviewed live on my YouTube stream. So if you want to come over and you're on TikTok and you want to come over to that, type in FPLTom or go to my bio in my TikTok profile. Come over to the YouTube stream. The chat does move a little bit slower, so I can, you know, speak to you guys a little bit better, answer your questions a little bit more thoroughly. And yeah, like I said, when I do review your teams a little bit later on, we'll do another round in about 5 or 6 minutes at FPLTom_ on Twitter. Under my pinned tweet, leave your team there. Should I start Lamptey or Adingra? I would probably go Adingra. Captain Haaland or Nunes? I would probably captain Haaland. I think I would captain Haaland over Nunes. Best defender, 4.5 million or below. I mean, it is Craig Dawson season, so we're going to say that one. We're going to say Craig, aren't we? Realistically, other defenders around that price point. Let's take a look. Who else have we got around that price point? Because I know that is a sticky kind of wicket for most people. Ethan Pinnock's a great shout. Pau Torres, maybe. Mitchell from Crystal Palace, if you wanted to go down that route. Esri Konza as well. Joel Ward, sorry. I don't know why I added an L in there. Yeah, those would be kind of the players that I would be looking for. But it is Craig Dawson season. Him and Kilman, probably my top picks if you've got other defenders that can rotate nicely around them. Josh AFC sent me his team. Great, we'll go and review some more teams in a little while. Like I said, if you want to send me your teams at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet. And yeah, we'll review some more teams in a little while. Somehow managed to get 100 points last week. 30,000 in the world. Buzzing with it. Lol. Well done, Sam. Well done, Sam, mate. I like to see that. I like to see people are doing well. It's good to see, isn't it? Especially, like, you know, this game sometimes can be so negative and downbeat. But when it goes well, it does really go well. Stop it with the... Bro, it's Craig Dawson season. You've got to get on it, Alfie. Like, you've got to get on it, pal. When it happens at 3 o'clock and he scores, you're just gonna all look idiots. Up the Stags. Easy win today. Easy win. Saliba, Taylor, or Lamptey. I'd probably go Saliba out of that. It's like, you know, you love Dawson way too much. Look, we've got to get hype behind some of these players, haven't we? We've got to, you know, he's just a weird pick, and sometimes it just makes the games a little bit more fun. Like, you know, I'm probably going to watch that game at 3 o'clock. We are doing a watch along at 3 o'clock. We're going to be kind of flicking through all the games. You know, probably start off with the City Bournemouth game, and then we'll kind of rotate around the ground, see what, see what games are nice, see what's happening, watch some of the goals. So if you do want to come along to that 3 o'clock stream, we will be doing that. That'll be great fun. That will be good fun. So yeah, that will start about just before 3 o'clock-ish. We will be doing that stream live on TikTok and YouTube. We're definitely going to end up with a Wolves game on, especially when Craig scores. But yeah, first year playing properly as well. Doubt it will be my last. Haha, love that, Sam. Absolutely love that. Do you think Trippier and Neto for Saka and Taylor is any good? This is the thing, right? I get the Neto out, yeah, great. But like taking Trippier out's a little bit of a risk. I think the clean sheets are going to diminish for Newcastle over the next few, but attacking data-wise, really good. Is it too early to get on Mbeumo? No. He's proven that he's a little bit fixture-proof, to be honest. He's always on penalties, which is a great asset to have. And in game week 14, does take on Luton. So I don't think it's ever too early. I think there are definitely players that you could maybe have in the meantime up until that game week 14 bit. But if you want to get ahead of potential price rises, if he keeps slapping goals in as well, his price will rise naturally. So if you want to get ahead of that curve, Ethan, then go for it. Lascelles and Dummett at the back really worries me. Yeah, I get that. Like I said, I do think we are going to see limited clean sheets from Newcastle. But Eddie Howe, man, he knows what he's doing. You think Sabitslai is a good pick for this week? Not really. I think there's better Liverpool assets to go for, to be honest. Salah, Darwin. I just can't get behind Sabitslai as a pick. I think he had a really impressive performance against Nottingham Forest, but still for me, I think there's better assets around that price point who've got a lot more upside that you potentially could get. Triple captain Haaland, if you feel the vibe, go for it. Edouard or Mbeumo, who should I start? Ooh, I'd probably go Mbeumo. I'll go Mbeumo. Bit random, but have you seen Spurs' crazy last 6 fixtures of the season? Yeah, I had a look the other day. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And then there's just like 2 nice ones right at the end, like Burnley and Sheffield United. But then everyone else is like City, Arsenal. It's just ridiculous. Adoji to start? I don't think he is going to start. It's a difficult one to say. Like, Ange was quite reserved. Like, there's going to be a late last-minute check. And with them being the Monday game, maybe he's got time to recover. But it's a bit... I don't really know what to suggest with that one, to be honest. I think, personally, in my own opinion, I've taken him out. I don't think he's going to start. So, yeah. Right, let's go and have a look at teams on Twitter. If any more people have sent me theirs, it looks like we've had quite a few more sent in to me, which is always good to see. So thank you for sending me those in, guys. Let's go and have a look at teams that we've been sent in. Like I said, guys, if you want to send me your team at FPLTom_ on Twitter, go to my pinned tweet and leave your team there. We're going to start off with Sam Murphy. I know he's in the YouTube chat, having an amazing season so far this year. He's bought in Sabitslai. He has got Onana, Saliba, Walker, Cash, Diaby, Matoma, Maddison, Sabitslai, Salah, Julian Alvarez, and Haaland captain. I rate it. Just Onana. He could bottle it. He definitely could bottle it. But I rate the team, Sam. Hope it does well again for you this game week. And yeah, best of luck for the season, mate. Let's have a look at some more teams that people have sent in. We did Nathan Marsh. We did that one. Alfie has sent me his team. Got 2.2 in the bank. 1 free transfer. What should I do? I mean, probably Estupinian would be a player I'd look to take out. I don't think he's going to be back before the international break. So probably would maybe look to remove Estupinian. Same with Baldock. I don't think he offers too much value in terms of this team. Rashford as well. Like, I get the next 3 fixtures are really good for United, but Jesus. Like, surely there's got to be a point where you go, right, I'm not having him anymore. Not having Salah in here is a bit of a crime as well. I definitely feel like you need a Liverpool player for this week. This is a tough one. Probably Estepinian out would be my pick. Maybe for someone like Tsimikas, it gets you a Liverpool player in here. So you probably would have a back three of Tsimikas, Dalot and Cash for this week, which would be very strong. So that's probably the transfer that I would make for that team, Alfie. Blackjack35 has sent me his team. Turner, Areola, Gabriel, Cash, Taylor, Tsimikas, Adoji, Saka, Salah, Maddison, Bowen, Diaby, Watkins, Haaland and Mbama. I probably would maybe get rid of Adoji. Maybe someone for, like, you know, Craig Dawson. We're not throwing that one out there again, are we? Of course we are. Maybe a Crystal Palace defender as well would be a great shout in here. Then I think you'd have a really nice rotating defence with each other as well. Majanori's Ghost. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I'm not. He's got Raya, Cash, Trippier, Pedporo, Son, Bowen, Salah captain, Diaby, Julian Alvarez, Darwin, Watkins, no Haaland. Benching Tsimikas is a big shout, especially over people like Pedporo and Trippier. I would argue I would rather play Tsimikas over someone like Pedporo or Trippier for this week. That would be the change that I would make there. Looks like we've had a few that haven't come through. Here they are. Josh AFC's team. Areola, Tsimikas, Gabriel, Cash, Bowen, Son, Saka, Salah, Matoma, Watkins, Haaland captain. Looking very strong for this week, Josh. As always, mate. As always. Your team's looking always pretty good. But yeah, looking really good this week, mate. And you said you're rolling the transfer this week. Makes sense. Makes sense. I know a lot of people are going to be doing that. Cool. Let's have a look if we've got any early team news. Doesn't look like that's the case so far. Maybe we might get some for those people that do have Manchester United players, but yeah. Cheers. My team is a shambles. No worries, guys. Like I said, if you want your teams reviewing in future game weeks as well, do come back to this stream. You know, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, as we do review them every single week live on this stream until it gets to the point where we're too big and we can't review teams anymore. But yeah, we're fine. What is my overall rank? I'm currently about 560,000 in the world, so not great, but, you know, it's definitely, you know, inside the top mill, doing a lot better than most content creators so far this season as well. We're still in a good touching distance of the top 100k, which is ultimately the goal for most managers as well. Saliba and Gay in for Diaz and Botman. I don't know why you'd be wanting to take potentially Diaz out this week. I'd probably just do Gay to Botman. Should I triple captain Haaland? That's entirely up to you. If you feel he's going to slap this week, if you've got that inclination, go for it. Go for it. Should I start McTominay or Archer? I'd go McTominay. Do I put Trippier on? I don't see why you wouldn't. Like, you're paying this premium price to potentially bench one of the best assets in the game, attacking wise, from a defender. So, you know, it makes sense why you would play him. Also, captain Haaland or Salah. Again, that's entirely up to you, to be honest. Craig Dawson is not happening. Why are people not getting behind the hype? It's Craig Dawson season. Come on, guys. Come on. By the way, if Dawson scores, right? If Dawson scores, we're going to get a Craig Dawson shirt. Alfie's asked, why Dawson over the likes of Kilman and Aït-Nouri? I think, again, those are both great shouts. But Dawson's got a little bit of a header in him. You know what I mean? A bit of a bullet header. Created some XG this season. Not a lot, but a little bit more than Kilman. So that was kind of my justification for going Dawson over Kilman. That slight little bit of XG, the potential that he might score a header as well. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully not. Well, hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. Like I said, if he does score, I will get a Wolves shirt with Craig Dawson on the back. Will Tsimikas start? I believe so. Start Trippier or Gahey? I'd probably lean more towards Gahey this week. Will Ferguson start? It's a tough one, to be honest. Like, De Zerbi's so rotation risk, but I do think he will start. Very tough game for Mansfield as well today. Matoma or Maddison start? I'd probably go Matoma, to be honest. Yeah. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We've got about 38 minutes till the deadline. Who do I take out from Saka, Maddison, Foden to get Salah in? Probably Foden. Foden would be the one that I'd probably be looking to remove out of that list. The underlying data for him so far this season, it's not been great. It's not been great. Ethan's asked Juan Hee-chan or Adingra. I definitely think Juan Hee-chan is more likely to start the games than Adingra. But the next 3-4 fixtures for Brighton, you could just play him every single week. Whereas Juan Hee-chan, you've got to have rotation options. Yeah, Dawson has only scored 1 goal in his Wolves career. That's fine. He's only played about 20 games. Do you not remember the 8 goals in about 80 games for West Ham? Look, trust the process, guys. Craig is doing it this week. Trust the process. Trust the process. No Shaw or Botman. Burns making Saka. Reckon Saka could do something. Yeah, I definitely think so. With that rotated injury risk defence that Newcastle have got, I definitely could see, Arsenal scoring 1 or 2 goals. So, and, you'd have to argue that Saka being one of their best players would potentially be involved as well. Tsimikas a good transfer for a Doji? 100%. Definitely 100%. I'll back that. If I take out Foden and Maddison, it'll need to be Trippier to Tsimikas. If I take out Saka, it'll be Botman to bench Lascelles. Okay, but it's one of those, isn't it, really? Like, definitely I think there's scope to go without Trippier for the next few weeks. It's one of them. It's difficult, FPL Aguero. To be honest, I had Dalot and everyone was saying he's bad, but he scored so Dawson could score as well. Well, this is it. Sheffield United have conceded the most goals as well from set plays. That's all I'm going to say. Best replacement for a Doji, probably looking at people like Tsimikas, Gahey, and a Wolves defender, Dawson, Kilman, someone like that. Come on, Spyrites? No. How's non-league football, guys? That's the only question you need to answer me there. John, I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good too. Every time I captain someone against Luton, they blank. I'm scared Salah is going to struggle. He could very easily struggle. Played 90 minutes in the week as well, so, Alfie's been he's been converted. He's been converted, pal. It's Craig Dawson's season. What can I say? Start Darwin or Wilson? I'd probably go Darwin. Do I put Trippier for Porro, Tsimikas on what? Do I put in Trippier for Porro, Tsimikas, Cash or none? Probably the only player there that I would be willing to change would be Porro, but again, I think you could go either way. Thanks for all the likes, guys, as well on the TikTok stream. It's all good. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We've got about 35 minutes till the deadline. We'll stick around a little bit longer as well after it, just to answer any of your questions. But we will also be live at 3 o'clock for an FPL 3 o'clocker watch along. We'll have all the games on, flicking between them. We'll probably start off with the City Bournemouth game and then just migrate around the grounds, watching all the goals, seeing all the action as well. So yeah, it'd be great to see. What rank am I, by the way? I'm 560,000 at the moment in the world. So doing all right. We're doing all right. Not bad, but not great. Definitely some scope to improve. Let's take a look. I know a lot of people are kind of split for captaincy at the moment. There is a poll going around in the YouTube chat. So if you want to get your vote in for that, yeah, do that. But we're going to have a look at predicted points now. Obviously, this is a lot of people where their decisions are coming down to potentially who do I captain for this game week. And predicted points isn't helping out either because, it's pretty much the same, isn't it? Like Salah and Haaland both predicted to get 9.4 predicted points this game week, which is ridiculously close between the two of them. So like I said, I feel whichever way you go, you could be rewarded, you could be punished. I'm personally going for Haaland. over Salah this week. Looking at other high-scoring players, Foden third is a really rogue shout. Only 9.8% owned. Drafthound is predicting him to get 7 points this week. Then Mbeumo with 6.6. Julian Alvarez and Son as well with 6.6. So if you've got Son, definitely worth a hold for me for this week. Then Darwin with 6.2. Know a lot of people have potentially been looking at him as well. So he could be a really, really good option that you potentially could go for, with the predicted points model predicting him to get 6.2. Then Trent with 6.1. Diego Jota with 5.8. And Szoboszlai, few people have brought him in. Few people are potentially looking at him as well, with 5.6 predicted points as well. Captain Alvarez or Salah, I'd be going Salah every day of the week there. Tom, I need to make a change. Neto primarily. My defence right now is Lascelles, Trippier, Zinchenko, Aldanke, Van Heckel. I'm thinking of Trippier and Neto for Palmer and Trent. Your thoughts? Personally, I think I'd just go for Tsimikas. I don't think there's any need to go for Trent. He's not like doing anything incredible in terms of performances, data-wise, and FPL point scoring-wise. So I don't think there's any like big need to go for like Trent. So I probably would just go for Tsimikas if I was going to make that move. And then obviously frees up a lot more money for that potential midfield option. Maybe you could get someone like Bowen, something like that. I think that would be the better way to go. Best 5.6 mid, you're probably looking at people like Hwan Hee-chan as potential options. Adingra. Let's have a look at some other ones as well. 5.6, did you say? Douglas Luiz is at 5.6 as well. Anthony Gordon at 5.7. Rodri, like, he's one of them, isn't he, where he plays most weeks. That's all I can really say for Rodri. Jordan Ayew, if you want to go down the Palace route, potentially. Palmer, Adingra, like we've said. And then after that, you're probably looking a little bit thin on the ground. There isn't anyone else I'd probably be like busting a gut to get in my team, to be honest. But yeah, those are the ones that I potentially would go for if I was looking for a cheap mid. Gordon to Hwang for a -4. Don't think it's worth it. Do not think it's worth it. Is it a good idea to triple captain Salah today? Personally, I would like to wait for double game weeks, but if you've got a feeling, go for it. Pereira from Fulham? Not really. Not really. I don't think I'd go for Pereira from Fulham. Bowen or Saka, mate? I probably would lean more towards Bowen, slightly. Just because he's got a really good record away from home at the moment. Seems to be in really good form as well. So I probably would go Bowen. Scored in midweek as well. Salah or Haaland captain? Personally for me, I'm going Haaland captain. But again, it's entirely up to you. Like, it's genuinely entirely up to you. There's nothing really splitting the two. We looked at predicted points. Both expected to get the exact same this week. So again, it's just more down to vibes. Like, if you're feeling that Salah's going to do well, go for him. My midfield, Adingra, Martinelli, Salah, Son and Neto. Should I consider Trippier out for Saka? I think that would be a good move. If you've got the 2 free transfers to do that, John, that potentially could be a really good move for you and your team. How do you think Mansfield's season's going so far? I'm a Crew fan. I think we're doing really well. Obviously still unbeaten in the league. I think we're putting in some really good performances, but we're missing a striker. Like, genuinely, I think we're missing a striker. We thought Will Swan was going to be it. Yeah, he proved on Tuesday night he's not it. And I just think we're missing someone who could just get goals. We're creating so many opportunities, so many chances. It is just like a goal scorer or someone just to come and kind of step up onto the plate and be that man that we need him to be. Reece Oates is back from injury, but I've always said this, I don't think he is a natural goal scorer. He's a great work engine for the team, great like presser of the ball, but overall I don't think he is a out and out 20 goal like season striker. So I think that's the area we're missing. No, I think Crew are doing all right as well, aren't they, at the moment? But yeah. What do you think with Luis Diaz? Obviously, he was back in training yesterday. I don't think he's going to start the game. I think he potentially could come off the bench. It's whether or not where he is mentally up here, whether or not Klopp thinks it's sensible enough to potentially bring him out. But when he does come out, I think he is going to have an amazing emotional one of those like movie kind of performances where, you know, you see it all the time. Bad things happen to people and then they just come up with something that's just scintillating and special. So I definitely think that is going to happen at some point whenever he is back. But from an FPL perspective, probably would look to avoid, maybe would look to take him out as well. Keep Gabriel or sell? Oh, I think we keep him. If it's Craig Dawson season, why don't you captain him? Because Haaland's playing Bournemouth. That's why. And we're also not a nutcase. Like, it is Craig Dawson season, but I'm not going to captain him. I'm not that confident in him. I'm confident he'll keep a clean sheet, but that's about it. So there's limited upside. Haaland and Salah are going to outscore him as well. So yeah. Trippier or Reguilon in defence? I probably would still go with Trippier, to be honest. And Mbeumo or Bowen? That is a really difficult call. I'd probably be leaning slightly more towards Mbeumo, just down to the fact that he has got penalties. Of Son, Porro and Palmer, which two should I pick? I probably would go Son and Porro. Back the home team. Spurs have been doing extremely well this season as well. Saka or Ward-Prowse this week? I probably would go Saka. Ward-Prowse playing in a lot more of a deeper role, having less influence on FPL as well. I do make good points sometimes, a turkey in a bush. Just sometimes. Not always, but just sometimes. There is about half an hour to the deadline, guys, so make sure you're getting your teams locked in. Make sure as well that you're getting like all your transfers done before the deadline, because, you know, sometimes it doesn't go well. Oh, wow. Look at this look at this head-to-head record that's been posted by City Extra. The last 12 Premier League matches between Manchester City and Bournemouth. 12 wins for City, 38 goals scored, only 6 for Bournemouth. Shots per game, 17.1 for City. Goal conversion rate of 18.5. Big chances per game, 2.4. And average ball possession, 68.6. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous there. Wow. That's huge. Doesn't look like we've got any early team news if you were looking for that as well, which is a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get any early team news this week. Wrexham score tonight. It's going to be a 3-0 win for Mansfield. That is the way I'm thinking. That's the way I'm thinking. That is the way I'm thinking. If you've enjoyed today's stream, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are doing another stream later today at around 3 o'clock. We're going to be doing a live FPL style watch along if you want to come along to that. And yeah, it should be good fun. Should be good fun. We'll be doing that on YouTube and TikTok as always. So yeah, like I said, follow, like, all that good stuff so you can keep up to date with that. Start Lamptey or Taylor? I'd probably lean more towards Taylor. Gordon or Juan He-Chan? I go Gordon. Haaland or Salah captain? Again, it's completely like, it's one of those, isn't it? Both are predicted 9.4 predicted points to the draft tower model, so like it could honestly go either way, to be honest. Of Saka, Gabriel and Burn, which two should I pick? Saka and Gabriel. Up the Vale? No, not today. Not today. We're not doing that. Sent my team. We'll go and check some more teams. If you want to send me your team, guys, on Twitter at FPLTom_ there. And yeah, send me a team there on my pinned tweet. Is Gabriel going to be rotated for the easy games? I don't know. From the comments that Arteta got, it was kind of like he's played a lot of games in the past few weeks. But then he played the Carabao Cup game. So I genuinely can't give you an honest answer about what's happening with Gabriel. It just seems like a bit of a mess. Will Mansfield ever do a Luton and make the Prem? Nah, I can't see it happening, to be honest. Oh, thank you for the rose. I can't actually see it happening, to be honest. I think we've got really good owners, but they're a little bit like football dumb, if that makes sense. Like, they're not like intelligent people at making the right football decisions. Like, they're really, really fantastic owners. They saved us from a desperate position. But in the long term, like, they don't make the correct football decisions sometimes. Like, sometimes we should be selling players and then we don't. Like the amount of times we've had that, you're looking at like people like Matt Green, CJ Hamilton, Danny Rose. We've been offered ridiculous money for some of these players and never sold them. And it's not going to go well, is it? But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe one day we'll make the Prem. Maybe one day. Hopefully. Saudi, if there's any Saudi investors or like any other state-owned companies that want to buy Mansfield, we're all for it. We're all for it. Morning, Tom. I own Sterling. Really think I need to sell. Take a -4, and if so, who would you get? I wouldn't be potentially looking to take a -4 to get rid. But you're probably looking at like people like Bowen, Diaby, people around there, Saka potentially if you've got the money to kind of do that upgrade. Yeah, it's a little bit of a difficult one, isn't it? It depends who else you've got in that midfield bracket, and Buemo would arguably be a very good pick as well. Yeah, those would probably be my top picks, to be honest. But it's quite difficult around that price point. Very difficult around that price point. Thoughts on Horsham holding Barnsley for a draw? It's great. It's what you like to see, isn't it, with the FA Cup? Non-league teams getting a big day out. You know, they're going to get a home fixture now. Hopefully they can progress as well. Be on telly as well. A bit more money for them. It's great. It's great. That's what the FA Cup first round's all about. Mansfield went to Shore Lane a couple years ago. Like, they don't even exist anymore, but I know it did extremely well for them and their kind of financial success. You see it a lot of the times as well. Marine, when they played Spurs, it was great to see. We did get beat 1-0 by Vale, and that is desperate. Where do you send your teams? At FPL_Tom_ on Twitter. If you want to leave it under my pinned tweet, we will go and have a look through some of those in a couple minutes. About 20 minutes till the deadline as well, guys. Make sure you're getting your team sent in. And like I said, we will be live later for the first ever FPL watch along as well, live on Twitter and YouTube. But yeah, thank you for all your support in today's stream. It has been appreciated. Can see Archer wonder strike, then hit Dawson own goal, Sheffield United 2-0 up. Don't say things like that, because you know why? It's Craig Dawson season. It is Craig Dawson season, and if it isn't, come at me on Twitter, because yeah, everyone else is gonna do. We saw you crying at Wembley. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. It was the fact you beat us with like loads of ex-Mansfield players as well, just to add extra insult to injury. My hit on Jota worked last week after the tragic incident with Diaz. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Unfortunately for Diaz, but I do feel when he does come back, he is going to have a very good emotional performance, and it's just going to be like one of those movie scenes, isn't it, really? But yeah, do keep your questions coming in, guys, as we do approach the final 20 minutes of the deadline. If you want to send me your team as well on Twitter at FPLTom_ and go to my pinned tweet, leave your team there and I will review it a little bit later. We'll do it in about 2 minutes or so. As well, if you're on TikTok and you want to come over to the YouTube stream, you will see my team right now on screen. As well, we're trying to hit 2,500 subs. We're ridiculously close. So if you want to help me hit that goal, come over, go to my bio, click the link there. It'll bring you over to the YouTube stream. You get to see your team, if you send it me on Twitter as well, live on there as well. But yeah, keep the questions coming in, guys. Keep the support coming in as well. And Jake sent me his wild card. Here he is. Right, let's go review some teams. Here we go. We're going to start off with Jake. He's not gone for Craig Dawson, and I'm actually disappointed in him. Oh, Jake. Areola, yeah. Cash, yeah. Gahey, Totti, sure. Salah, Bruno Fernandes. I still can't get behind this pick, Jake. I still can't get behind it. I know the fixture's there for United, but the performances aren't. Son, yes. Kudos. I know you love him, so that's fine. Evan Ferguson. I can't get behind it because I think he might be rotated at some points. Not this week, but in future weeks. Odson Edward, no. Haaland captain, yes. The bench is looking pretty strong. Tsimikas. Yeah. Tsimikas, Gordon, and then Taylor. I rate it. I just can't get behind that Bruno pick, to be honest. It's just not for me. Sorry, mate. It just isn't. But watch it work out. As I always say, if I tell you to do something, do the exact opposite, because that usually works out a lot better. Dave Johnson, whether or not you're in the TikTok or the YouTube chat, he sent me his team. He's got Areola, Van der Veen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cash, Bowen, Saka, Maddison, Matoma, Watkins, Haaland, Julian Alvarez. I think you've got all the benching decisions right. Onana on the bench is a difficult one, but again, it's probably a 50-50 split, whether or not you think United are going to be able to keep a clean sheet and put in a positive performance. But, you know, sometimes things like this happen where there's a tide of kind of negativity around a club, and then they just randomly perform. You always see it in football, you always see it in sports as well. Sometimes that negativity kind of continues and drains and the manager gets sacked, or there is a massive upturn in performance. But we'll wait and see. MFZ has sent me his team. Areola, Tsimikas, Cash, Maguire, Martinelli, Matoma, Salah, Bowen, Saka, Watkins and Haaland. Again, anything to do? Probably not. I think the team's in a pretty good place this week. Martinelli's not really been delivering over the past few weeks, but the fixtures are quite positive for Arsenal after this game week. So I definitely think there is an option to potentially, you know, keep him for those good fixtures. Haaland captain, yeah, whatever. Back three's looking pretty strong. I probably maybe would put Gabriel ahead of Charlie Taylor, but that's just my personal preference. But yeah, nothing else I would arguably do for that. Hakuna Matata has sent me his team or her team. We're not assuming genders now, come on. 1 free transfer, bench Diaz or sell him for someone. Cash, Trippier, Gabriel, Bowen, Salah, Son, Matoma, Julian Alvarez, Watkins and Darwin. You potentially could sell Luis Diaz if you don't think he's going to play this week. Arguably, this is one of the fixtures you would want him available for. You've obviously... that's difficult. That is difficult. Who would you potentially go and get for Luis Diaz, though? That's the real question. Maybe someone like Mbuemo if you wanted to go down that route. Yeah, maybe Diaby if you wanted a short-term punt. Juan He-Chan if you fancied a little bit of fun this week. But again, I don't think there'd be any other attackers that I would be looking to replace him with. So I think I'd just roll, to be honest. If you don't think Luis Diaz is going to play, that's fine. The rest of the attackers, there's no one like I'd be gagging to get out of this team. So I'd probably just roll. I think I'd roll. That would be my advice there. Right, what other ones have we got? John, 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. This is his team. Areola, Saliba, Tsimikas, Mitchell, Diaby, Son, Bowen, Salah, Julian Alvarez, Haaland and Watkins. Transfers that I potentially would be looking to make. Maybe Dan Burnout would be the transfer that I would make this week. The longer term fixtures for Newcastle aren't that great. Maybe get someone like Craig Dawson. There's a potential shout. Not said that enough this stream. But yeah, that's probably... I like Dan Burn for a defender with really good rotating fixtures with the rest of them. Probably would be my shout this week for you, John, mate. Then take 2 into next week as well. Tony Robertson has sent me his team as well. Areola, Cash, Anderson, Pinnock, Ward-Prowse, Son, McTominay, Gross, Watkins, Cunha captain. We love to see a differential captain. And Haaland as well. Bruno on the bench, a little bit risky. I don't know why you wouldn't play him. It's just one of those. I probably would play him over Ward-Prowse this week. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess, mate. But I love the Cunha little captain. I love weirdos like this. Not to call you a weirdo, but I just have. Apologies. Should I go Cunha over Ferguson? I think I'd still stick with Evan Ferguson. I think he's got the higher upside over Cunha. Longer term. Jake, to answer your question there, mate. It's Scottish Baguette. He's captain Cunha. Of course he has. Haaland, Tsimikas, Maddison, and a 4.4 mid in from -8. No, I wouldn't be doing that. Any team news? Let's take a look. Let's take a look if there's any team news kicking about. Not that one. Oh, someone has some. The United stand understands that Marcus Rashford didn't train yesterday due to an injury and faces a late fitness test ahead of today's game against Fulham. So, it looks like Marcus Rashford is potentially not going to play. So that's interesting. That is interesting. Main Roaders, FPL Main Roaders said as well, Rodri is one game away from a booking, so might see Calvin Phillips start. And maybe Foden start as well. He's pretty good with early team news and predictions as well for Manchester City. But it does look like Manchester United and Rashford is going to miss out on the Fulham game. So if you've kept Rashford for this time period, it does look like he potentially could miss out on the game. So if you've got Rashford, if you've kept him for this long, it does look like he's potentially going to miss the game with a late fitness test ahead of the game. But we'll wait and see on that one. Could do Hwang and Darwin over Kudos and Ferguson. Yeah. I think that would work. I know you really like Kudos, and I think he is a good pick for this week. But I think Hwang and Darwin would outscore Kudos and Ferguson. Just my personal opinion. But that is it. Why did I even ask for team news if it's just going to make my team worse? Who should I transfer to then, Tom? Remind me of your team, Alfie. Remind me of your team, mate. But let's have a look for you, mate. Probably someone like Saka, maybe, and Buemo as a pick. Juan Hee-chan if you wanted to drop all the way down. Let me know your team. Let me know the midfield area, and that might help me out a little bit more. Matoma or Bowen, I'd probably lean a little bit more towards Matoma. Kufal or Gabriel, I probably would go Kufal this week. Garnacho, a good shout. I mean, I still wouldn't be recommending any United players, to be honest. They look pretty dismal, to be honest. Overall, 10k. Should I gamble in Captain Darwin over Salah? Don't own Haaland. Ooh. No, I'd go with Salah. And just hope that Haaland doesn't do anything. Still can't beat the Vale. Hope you go up though. Oh, well, thank you. Was on the BBC that Rashford went to a party after the loss and Ten Hag wasn't happy. Apparently it was his birthday though. Apparently it was like his birthday party or something. Interesting. Okay, so Rashford, Diaby and Buemo, Maddison, Son. Oh, okay. So probably Saka then, to be honest, mate. Saka would be the one that I'd pick. Obviously not the best fixture this week against Newcastle. That's going to be a difficult game. But if you're looking more over the next kind of few weeks, after that is Burnley, Brentford, Wolves, Luton. So I'd probably do that. That hiccup was really violent. Or maybe you could go for potentially someone like Matoma this week. Obviously Sheffield United for them next week. Maybe a gamble on Eze, but again, I can't quite comment on his fitness. So I think I would probably go for Saka, would be my pick, to be honest, Alfie. Good long-term fixtures coming up. You're looking at like playing some of the bottom teams in the league, Burnley and Luton. I think that just makes sense. Oh, yes. John has joined the cult. He has joined the squad. The Craig Dawson season is officially here. Welcome to the club, John. It's an exclusive club, and hopefully he does score a hat-trick from set pieces today. It would be great to see. -4 to go to Gahey. I don't think I'd do that. As long as I've got other playing defenders, I don't think that's something necessarily I would look to do personally. Thoughts on Sheffield United? They're going to get outdone by Craig Dawson today. Is it time to sell Maddison in game week 13? Arguably, yes. I think it is. He's playing a lot more of a deeper role as well within that Spurs side. So I think we are going to see potentially limited returns from him in the next few weeks. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We've got about 9 minutes till the deadline. So like I said, make sure you're getting your teams locked in. Still no early team news. Obviously the early team news that is broke is the fact that Marcus Rashford didn't train yesterday due to an injury and faces a late fitness test ahead of today's game against Fulham. So that's the only early team news that we've got. Not 100% confirmed out, but it's not looking great. Start Vicario or Pickford this week? Oh, that's a toughie. I'd probably go Vicario. Spurs have been pretty good at the back as well. Start Lamptey or Porro. I probably would go Ped Porro, to be honest. I probably would go Ped Porro. I have to play Taylor instead of Neto then. That's fine. Charlie Taylor potentially could deliver again. I wouldn't be expecting a clean sheet, but it is what it is. Like, Palace are pretty null going forward, to be honest. Eze and Elise do look like they're back in training, which is great. Eze is expected to be in the squad as well, so I do think we will see a lot more of attacking intent from them. But again, yeah, it's a difficult one to call. It is a difficult one to call. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We've got 8 minutes till the deadline. Like I said as well, we will be doing a 3 o'clock watch along on YouTube and on TikTok. So if you want to come along to that, that'll be kicking off just before 3 o'clock ahead of those great games. But yeah, get your questions in, guys, as we are fast approaching the Game Week 11 deadline. Gahey or Lamptey? I'd be going Gahey. I'll be going Mark Gahey. How many points do you think I'm going to score with this team this week? I'm feeling pretty confident, to be honest. I think Villa are going to do a job on Forest. Haaland and Salah both in the team, great. Matoma, hopefully, and then Craig, obviously. Oh, yeah. Should I take a -4? Because I was going to make a defender transfer before this Rashford news. Who was you going to do? I can't remember your team, Alfie. I really do apologise, mate. Let's see if I can find it. I think you sent it me, didn't you? So let's have a look. Let me go through my notifications. Hopefully I can find it for you, mate, and then give you better advice. I think this was you. Yeah, this was you. So we were going to originally do Estepinian out, but you could just play that back free and no need for a minus. So yeah, you could easily just this week just do Rashford to Saka. That would be fine. And if you wanted to take the -4, you could take the -4 and, you know, bring in a defender. But I don't think there would be too much upside to that. Because you could just play these 3 defenders and hope that Gabriel plays this week. I think he will. But it's one of them, innit? It's one of them. It is difficult to call. So if you definitely think Gabriel isn't going to play, I would do a -4 transfer. But if you do, then just do Rashford to Saka. That would be my suggestions there, mate. 6 minutes till the deadline does end, guys. Patrick's asked, morning Tom, who would you play out of these 3? Taylor, Gabriel or Lascelles? I probably would play... I'd probably play Gabriel and hope that he plays. Who's my captain? My captain is Haaland for this week. Gahey or Ryan? Ryan? Ryan who? Who's Ryan? I'm genuinely confused. Who's Ryan? What 6.5 million midfielders to get in? I think Matoma's still at 6.5, so probably he would be one of my top picks. Juan Hee-chan as a shout for this week would be another great shout to potentially go for. Eze, if you think he's going to play this week as well, but I think he's just probably going to come off the bench. Thoughts on Edouard? Yeah, the fixtures are good. I just can't... The Palace attack is very dull. Jared Bowen is a player I would have in, but Lucas Paqueta is suspended. Edison, Anderson, Cash, Simicast, Son, Salah, Douglas Luiz and Buemo, Matona, Haaland, Nunes, Areola, Lamptey, Saliba, bench. Wildcard used. Any changes? Yeah, I don't know about Lamptey. I don't think longer term he's going to play a lot of games, so I'll probably have Charlie Taylor in there over Lamptey. Other than that, I don't really like spending that much on a goalkeeper personally, but each their own, isn't it, really? Who's my captain? My captain is Haaland. My captain's Haaland for this week. Palace going down for sure in the next year or so. It depends what happens with like Eze and Elise. Obviously, Elise is committed to kind of signing that new deal. If they can get Eze on one, I think they'll be fine. Defensively as well, they're a really good unit. Mark Gahey and Anderson probably should be playing for top 6 sides. They're really, really good centre-back pairing. Nori. I'd still probably go for Mark Gahey then. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. I will quickly try and review your team if it's been sent to me. Here we go. We're going to have a quick review of this team. Obviously, benched Neto this week. I don't think there'd be any other changes that I think I'd make to this team. I think this team is fine for this week. Fine for this week. Doesn't look like we've had any more. Let's just have a quick check of any other early team news. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything else kicking off. Bench Saka or Wilson? I think I'd probably bench Wilson this week. Probably would bench Wilson this week. Right, going with Juan He-Chan so I can save some money for Salah in the future. Makes sense, Alfie. Makes sense, mate. I like that. I like that as a transfer strategy. I rate it. I do rate it. If you guys have enjoyed today's stream, be sure to, obviously support the channel in any way possible, either that on TikTok or YouTube. Follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. No worries, mate. No worries. Happy to help. Happy to help. And if you don't agree with my opinion, that's fine. Like, it's everyone's own game, isn't it? I'm just here to offer my advice, and that's the way it is. We will also be doing a stream a little bit later on, around 3 o'clock. Ahead of all those games kicking off at that time period. We're going to be doing a watch along, so if you want to come and laugh at me because Craig Dawson conceded an own goal or something like that, then come along to that because it'll be great fun. But yeah, we've got about 2 minutes till the deadline, guys. Like I said, make sure you're getting your team locked in. Any final questions as well, also be spamming them in the chat as rapid as you can because the deadline's gonna go in any second now. Mbuemo or Bowen this week, I would probably go Mbuemo would be my personal shout for this week. Mbuemo would be my personal shout for this week. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Gordon or McTominay? I think I'd go McTominay, just. Salah or Haaland captain? Again, this is entirely up to you, to be honest, guys. It's a 50-50 split for me, personally. Yeah. You could just go either way. Both predicted to get, I think it was 9.4 points according to Draft Hound's model this week. Foster's ill and will miss the game, so I'd go Gordon. Bench Porro or Saliba? I probably would bench Saliba over Porro. Prediction for the big games: Newcastle versus Arsenal, Chelsea. I did some predictions earlier on. I'll answer that question in a little bit once the deadline has passed. Because, yeah. Collins or Adoji? I probably would go Collins for this week. I don't think Adoji's going to play. There's going to be a late fitness test for him. Do keep your questions coming in. Like I said, guys, there is probably about 30 seconds until the FPL deadline does close at 11. So make sure you're getting teams in. It's just gone 11. I'm chatting absolute wham. It has just gone 11 o'clock, guys. So thank you for everyone who's been watching the stream today. Make sure you've got your team locked in as well. We will stay live for about 5 or 10 or so minutes, answering any general football questions. But like I said, we will be live a little bit later on for the 3 o'clock watch along. So if you want to come along to that, it's going to be some good fun. We're going to have some stuff sorted out for that. So yeah. It'll be pretty good. But yeah, the deadline has passed indeed, ladies and gentlemen. So, make sure you got your team locked in. All that good stuff. Oops, as I just accidentally load up some editing software. But we had a question about predictions for this week for the big games. I went for a 4-1 win for City. I went for 2-1 win for Spurs. And then a 2-0 win for Newcastle. Deadline is locked and passed, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you did get your teams in. John's now unsure who he picked for captain. What do I do for work? I work for a sports broadcaster. That's what I do for work. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. No worries, mate. No worries. Happy to have you in the stream. If you want to come back to any more or come along to the 3 o'clock watch along as well, would be appreciated. But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. Keep your questions coming in, guys. We've got about, I think we'll stay live for like 5 or 6 minutes. See what sort of questions we get in. See what the vibe is. See what's happening around the FPL space. All that good stuff. But like I said, guys, do keep your questions coming in. There will be a stream a little bit later today for the 3 o'clockers, so that's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be some good fun, to be honest. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Some definitely exciting games happening at 3 o'clock as well. The Wolves one for everyone who's here for the Craig Dawson hype train. That'll be a good one. Thank you for the rose as well. Cheers for that. Tom, thanks for the last minute Q&A. No worries, anytime as always on these streams. If you do have any questions, just fling them over to me because we try to answer as many as we can. Hoping Bournemouth 10-man at the back and the counter and someone nick a point. Yeah, I get that, but I can't see it happening. Thanks for the help today. Best FPL account. I do appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much for your support as well. If you want to come along to future streams, more than happy to answer as many questions as I can. Is it true that Salah isn't playing? I haven't heard that or seen that anywhere, so don't know. John says, let's hope Dawson bangs a surprise this week for all his new owners. He's due. He is due. It is Craig Dawson season. If you didn't know, get to know. So yeah, hopefully Craig Dawson can bang in some goals. I've just seen it's absolutely atrocious outside weather-wise, to be honest. Like, it's proper dismal. Luckily, I'm doing bugger all today and just going to be streaming later for you guys. So, you know, cool. It's fine for me. I'm happy to sit indoors all day and watch the football and stream. I've never heard of Dawson. Is he good? Oh, mate, he's incredible. For context, he's a 36-year-old centre-back for Wolves. Occasionally scores a header. They've got Sheffield United, so yeah. Am I going to be doing a watch-along at 3 p.m? Yes, I am. I'm doing a watch-along. That question in the YouTube chat, not relevant. It's not relevant, is it? Or not needed. Watkins over Darwin, valid. The deadline has already passed, but yeah, I can see that. Oh, if Dawson scores, I'm gonna ask what kind of I should be doing at 3 o'clock if Dawson does score. What game am I streaming? I don't know. I think we'll start off with the City Bournemouth game, but I've got players in every single game, so I'll probably just flick between them all, and just watch every single one. Yeah, see the goals go in, kind of talk all through that. Reassure my decision making. Yeah, just trust yourself, bro. Trust yourself. Trust your own decision. John will be back for the watch along. Like I said, guys, if you do want to come along for the watch along at 3 o'clock, it would be appreciated. Yeah, we're going to try and watch as many games as possible. We're just going to keep flicking between them all. I went for the double Liverpool defence, hoping they don't concede. Hopefully it's an easy Haaland hat-trick as well. And I could do without a Liverpool clean sheet. Don't have Tsimikas, so I could do without it. I could do without that this week. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up in 2 minutes. So do keep your questions coming in. But like I said, we will be live at 3 o'clock. We'll wrap up in a few minutes. Just see if there's any kind of last minute questions you guys want to ask me. Saliba to Gahey, deadline has already passed, unfortunately, Patrick. So you would have had to already made your transfer for this week. I forgot to do my draft again this week, which is annoying. But we'll see how it goes. I think I brought Craig Dawson on that as well. But yeah. Like I said, guys, we will be live at 3 o'clock for the stream-along deadline, the watch-along deadline, whatever it's called. Score predictions, Arsenal-Newcastle. I went for a 2-0 win for Arsenal. Sorry, Jack. Sorry, mate. But yeah. No worries. See you later, mate. See you later for the 3 o'clock stream. We're going to leave it there, I reckon, guys. I don't think anything else is going to happen or anything else exciting is going to happen. But we will be back for the 3 o'clock watch along. So if you want to come to that, like I said, it will be live on YouTube and TikTok. Thank you for all your support today, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube, TikTok. Like I said, you've been absolutely amazing, as always, on these deadline streams. Massively appreciated by me. And like I said, if you want to continue to support the channel, either on TikTok or on YouTube, it is appreciated by me. But yeah, thank you very much for watching today, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, I will see you at 3 o'clock.